Ensure the radar scanner rotates parallel to the water. Mount the radar scanner away from large structures or equipment such as engine stacks, searchlight horns or masts. Hello, I'm Harry and I'm going around the UK in this very small speedboat from 1977. And I'm doing it very slowly.
This is actually it. It doesn't feel like much, but it might not be much, but it could be something.
Started thinking about the gadgets and realised I need a bit more safety gear on board. So I spoke to the very nice people at Raymarine and they've given me all this and this. My plan is that this is going to be the most well-equipped 4-metre boat. So now I just have to work out how to get all of this stuff on here. There's a lot of boxes and a lot of bits. There's a lot of wires. There's a lot of cables. So the radar is going to go up here. It's going to be pretty doody. This is our GPS chart plotter. This is almost the perfect system for this boat. In order to install all of our upgrades, we actually need to upgrade this as well. There's the UK. This is where we installed it last year. And it's got our route all the way down to the Isles of Scilly. So in order to install the radar and the AIS, we're going to need to upgrade this to something even bigger. I mean, yes, it's overkill. This has actually served us really well, so I'm sort of sad to see it go. But I am slightly overexcited about getting this in and trying it out. It's got more ports as well, so we can plug in more gadgets. So it should just about fit in here. So we've got to get this out. In order to get in, we're having to remove the whole dashboard. And I've forgotten how heavy I made it.
Easy fix, Harry?
Yeah, I think we'll get it in. It's a lot of wires. This is what's behind the dashboard. We're going to have to change the transducer as well, because it turns out that this one is a different size fitting. Okay. Out it comes. So, goodbye element, hello axiom. You can see the difference in size on these screens. Just try and see what happens. Oh, there you go. Well, that's a much bigger screen. Oh, the touch screen's nice. I've got to be honest, this is basically like Christmas for me. I'm using this template to work out the new hole we're going to need for the bigger screen. I've had to chop through the laser cut Goodwin, make another one of those.
I spent well over a year making a film about this big ship behind me. It's owned by a guy called Ben. So whilst working on this ship, I noticed the old speedboat that was sitting on the back. Ben said he was going to get rid of it. I said, don't get rid of it, give it to me. And then he gave it to me. That video is all about mining foam on a big ship, but this video is all about speedboats.
fit the radar up here, we've got to get everything moved. Let's see if these bolts come off. This is an old horn which can go because it doesn't work. I'm going to put a nice junction box here and have a nice kind of proper wiring setup. Right, as always, all the bolts holding this on have seized, so I'm going to cut them off. There we go. This old masthead is actually really heavy, so I think we can get a lightweight plastic one, be more sensible. So this is the radar. It's the Quantum 2, but it's not that heavy, but it is very big. Essentially, this is way overkill, but very exciting. And it goes on like that. And I think you'll agree that's going to look pretty smart, which is the main thing. If you don't know, radar was developed during the Second World War, and it's a way of detecting things like land and other vessels by pinging radio signals at them and then detecting when they bounce back. This one's very high tech. This sonar system works out whether things are coming towards you, whether you're going to hit them, whether they're going away from you. There aren't many 4-meter boats with such advanced radar. The main thing is when people see us coming, they'll be like, whoa, who are those guys with the radar? We basically look like we're doing some sort of marine survey now. But it will mean if we get stuck in fog or in the dark, we're going to be fine. And if there's a busy shipping lane, we'll know exactly where everything is, where the big ships are. Rotate parallel to the waterline. There's quite a lot of reading up to do about radar. Right, this comes with a mounting template to work out where the holes go. And we need to drill here, here. Stainless, it's quite hard to drill.
Your drilling's all right, Harry.
Got him. So I'm taking off the old transducer. New transducer is in, it feels very solid. Hopefully it's not going to hit that. I think that'll be okay. Apparently it's 3D stabilized sonar. Every boat needs the onboard augmented reality camera. Goodwin is no exception. The electronics is underway. I've got to fit a lot more stuff in. I've got to fit in this big network bus. Screen is in, pretty solid, so it fits on these brackets. But yeah, it's getting pretty full. The AIS has got to go in here. The main reason I've got all of this extra gear is that I wanted to install AIS. This is the AIS box. It's an automatic identification system that uses the VHF radio signal to tell other ships where you are. So if we're in the fog, we'll be able to see other ships coming. This is highly expensive. We don't deserve it. Someone said we should probably have one for safety reasons, and the other thing it's going to do is it's going to mean you can go on the internet and hopefully see where we are, which is probably parked on a trailer somewhere, but you know, maybe we'll be out to sea. But basically it uses radio signals, pings our position. VHF goes in here. Big ships should hopefully be able to see us in the fog, and we can see them as well. This is something that normally big ships have, but now Goodwin will have it too. Just got to work out where we're going to put it. Right, on the A-frame, we're going to be adding some more sensors. The camera's on. We've been shopping for some more bits. We've got new aerial. So this aerial's going to go up here like that. Yeah, it's going to be like that, could be up the back. And then augmented reality sensor will be up here, of course. There's a lot of gadgets, there's a lot of wires, but I'm sure it'll all fit in somewhere.
Where there's a wire, there's a wire.
That's it. Look, we've got this is the anchor light. We've got a new GPS receiver for the AIS, and it's going to be wired in. Nice little junction box is going in up there. Screen is in, still some more wiring going on there. Camera's in, new masts going in. I've taken the whole dashboard off. It's much easier to work on like this. It's getting pretty messy. I need to have a tidy up. AIS is in, all glued in nicely there. The network hub is in. This is a lot of stuff to fit into a tiny boat, but it does actually just about fit. It's heavy. I'm running all the wires here for the radar, just working it all out. So there's a lot of wiring. New GPS antenna, new VHF antenna. I've got to remake these so that they're waterproof. GPS is going into the AIS here, and VHF signal comes in, it goes out, back into the radio. It's a lot to do. This is power for the radar, threading in. Right, this is the big transducer plug going in. The radar is on. Why are you making that face?
Oh.
Slightly frantic driving. What do you think of the new screen? Do you like it?
Yeah, the wheels on the
Bus go round and round all day long.
The wipers on the ground go fish, 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 fish.
Wait, claiming me. The AIS is working. Here's a boat. Pelican of London sailing vessel. See if the radar works. So, go to network. I think that's a radar. See if it turns on. What have I done wrong with the radar? Maybe I need to read the manual. Right, I just switched it off and on again, and this one is networked. And here we go. Stand by, Quantum 2 Doppler. Wow. We just saw a car go past, the green dot. Oh, I guess this is right. This is the road down here. There are the trees in the park. I think it works better on the sea. Oh look, you can get it to show you weather. Look at that. I need to read the manual. So that's how to use a radar sitting in the front garden. I think it's going to be more useful on the sea. Battery's getting a bit low. Be easier when the engine's running. To connect up the camera properly here, we've got to use this waterproof Ethernet port. You have to cut off these ends and make your own plugs here, which is a little bit nerve-wracking, but to do that you need one of these tools. It has to go orange and white, orange. Got to get these in the right orders. Orange and white, orange, green and white, blue, blue and white, green, brown and white, brown. It's getting there. We've got the camera working. So this calibration in progress. If I wave, hello. Camera direction, 0 degrees. This camera works with this.
I haven't installed this sensor yet, but this is the augmented reality sensor, and this monitors the movement of the boat, the roll and the pitch. But you can see as you rotate this, it's amazing. It's like proper virtual reality. So it's showing us those other boats there. That's it. So as this moves, we can overlay all the chart points. So that is augmented reality. Looks good. But one of the nice things about having this is it's got a digital compass in. Normally it would take us a long time on the GPS to update our direction we're pointing, the heading. But actually with this, you can see it's immediate. So as you rotate it, it's much easier for us to work out which way we need to go. Dashboard is all back together, got the steering in, and been tightening up all the last little bits. And I have to say, I've got a lot more confidence in this thing. All the wiring's really neat, tight, tucked out of the way. There's no flappy bits. I've always been slightly nervous of one of the loose wires or something, you know. I can still think of improvements, but this thing is now a lot more solid. That's it. Oh, that's good. Windscreen is back on. I've used new stainless bolts here because everything had gone a bit rusty. I've learned a lot about bolts and seawater. So it turns out there's more to stainless steel than I thought. The salt in the seawater basically makes every bolt go rusty. If you use the cheaper stainless steel, which is A2, they all rust like this. So on these now I've used A4 stainless. Hopefully they should do it better. They look a lot smarter, but they're highly expensive. It's all in. Gadgets complete. This thing is nearly ready to go. The wiring for the old A-frame was always a bit last minute, and I was always worried it was going to break. So I've done it all properly now. We've got a junction box, and I've waterproofed all this wiring. Fingers crossed, it's going to be fine. So we've got the augmented reality sensor on here now. This is a new, really lightweight anchor light. This is looking very smart now. When it had a lot of wires hanging off it, it was looking like a bit much. But now it's all tidied up. It looks just like there's a few gadgets added. So I think it probably doesn't weigh much more than the old big mast, I'm hoping. All the wires come down here, and I've just coiled up a lot of the spare wire down there. I'm pretty smart. Just going to give the engine a quick test to make sure it's all still running fine. I'm going to try and run the engine on the muffs. It forces water up through the water intake on the bottom. I haven't used it before because I could never get it to work, but someone on YouTube in Australia recommended using a clamp. Oh, it's working. It's working on the muffs. I've got to admit, I was a bit nervous. I thought it might catch on fire. The muffs are working a treat. It sounds very difficult because the exhaust is now out of the water. Someone suggested in the comments to use this to stop things from rusting. There's nothing left for it. We're going to have to go out to sea. Stay tuned. This could now be the most gadgeted 4-metre boat. That's probably not true, but it's a great claim.